Alright guys, hi. I'm going to try to make some of these how I work videos. And the idea is, maybe taking a look over my shoulder and seeing how I do things might be beneficial to you. So I hope you enjoy these. If you do like these, I'm going to put these on YouTube from time to time. If you do like these, I know you're sick of hearing people say these on the YouTube videos, but it is actually important to click the like button and to also subscribe so that you get you become aware of when I update a new one. I'm not going to do it too often, but when I think of something that I believe will benefit other people, I'll try to make a quick video about it. But again, it's not easy to do but if more people do this, it just makes it more helpful. This is the first one I did about Chrome tabs, by the way. If you like what I did up here at the top with my tabs, I already created that was my first one, how I work, tech tips from Ted about the Chrome tab groups. Okay, the topic for this one is to show you how I use EdPuzzle to monitor my students. I'm going to start with showing you how I assign a sort of a do now video. So here's my do now video in Google Classroom because I assigned it to the kids. Then I refresh the page during class and I can kind of look and see when I click at that top thing, it organizes based on who has seen it, so I can see they've seen it a few seconds ago. And I can also click on watched and you see who's watched it and who's never watched it. Then here I am like a few minutes later during class. I just grabbed a quick recording just to show you guys. Now this is like 2 minutes later. I can see more people have watched it. I can see how far they are. And here I am towards the like 5 minutes into it. So several kids have completed it and I can see who hasn't completed it. And I can kind of double check, like, are they absent? Are they really part of my class? And so forth. Okay, and then during class, they come back to Google Classroom and start making comments. So that first clip was early on, and now here we are towards the end of it, and now I am making some comments also. So these are comments that I'm making to the students who are also commenting about it. So our quote-unquote class conversation is online, and that's how I do that. But I don't just give the students a video and say, here, watch this, and I don't watch it together with them. Instead, I assign it to them through EdPuzzle. Why? Because showing them a video through EdPuzzle gives me the ability to see that they have watched it. So in this particular class, for example, I can come over here and I can click on watched and sort of reorganize my window based on who has watched it, and I can see how far they are and whether they watched it, and I can see when they watched it. This is a student who came into our Zoom class late, so he was catching up, but I can see everyone else watched the video. So by having this as a do now, so first of all, how do I assign this, right? So let me go back out. I'm going to go to my classes. Actually, I'm going to go to my content. I've already put it into this little section called my content, and I have videos that I like to show my students as do now videos, so it's under interesting tech videos. And this is a particular video about a cool little robot that looks like a ball, and it follows you around and it carries your stuff. It's kind of a cool video, and I like to show this kind of a video to my students, and usually they're pretty short. This one's actually a little longer, 5 minutes. Usually I try to keep them to 3 minutes. Notice, by the way, that I always add a question at the end, and it can be just a simple, easy question. My question to them is just simply to remind them that they need to participate in our conversation about the video when the video is over. And the conversation, by the way, and this is another important part of my do now, the conversation is actually back in Google Classroom, and it is in the form of this comment section. So you can see here myself and my students have conducted an entire conversation after the video. So I assigned this video as a do now, and then the students go off and watch it on their own. And then after they watch it on their own through EdPuzzle, they come back here and we conduct together a quiet conversation over here. The benefit of that is this conversation is frozen in time. I can go back and look at these and see who participates over the course of several weeks, and I can put a participation grade on that. I can monitor who is actually watching these videos. So I started to say about putting a question at the very end and why that's important. So why is it important to insert a question at the very end of the video? That's important because if students don't see a question, they tend to think it's okay that they don't really watch the video. Okay, again, if you put a question at the very end of the EdPuzzle video, just a simple multiple choice, and if you can see, my question is not really a hard question. You could put questions that make them think if you want, but my purpose of putting the question at the very end isn't really to get them to answer a question about the content of what they said as much as it is to remind them that they need to watch the whole video. If the last question occurs, they assume they don't have to watch any more of the video. So I always put a question at the very end of any EdPuzzle video that I show my students. That's just sort of my own little recommendation. So always insert a question. When I go to content, my content, and what I have under interesting tech videos, these are videos that I've already edited. This little dot here means I put a question in it already. And when I click on it and I go to edit, I can see I can't edit this one because I've already assigned it. But if I go back, let's say there's one I haven't assigned yet. Here's some robots, a 3-minute video about robots from Jimmy Fallon. I haven't put a question yet. So when I am ready to start assigning this one to kids, I'm going to go to edit. I'm going to go to questions, and I'm going to add a simple multiple choice question, and I'm just going to stick that question at the very end of the video. The kids will all see that. And then I'll just put a simple question like, don't forget that you need to participate in our online conversation. Yes, I will. No, I won't. And that's pretty much as simple as that. And of course, while the kids are watching the video, I monitor that they are indeed watching it, but it also gives me time at the beginning of class where the kids are busy. I know they're doing what they should be doing because I can see the results here. I can see how much of the video they watched and whether they answered the question correctly. But it also, it frees you up. You're kind of like, they're busy doing that. You know they're doing it, but you can admit other kids, do attendance stuff, deal with any individual kids that you need to deal with, or do anything else that you need to do. And it occupies the kids with something meaningful for a good solid several minutes, but frees you up to think and take care of and get your class squared away. This is just a quick do now EdPuzzle. I'm going to make another how I work video later showing how I use EdPuzzle during class for projects and how I do that. It's a little more complex, but this quick do now video is excellent. Let me just jump back in and show you. So here we are. This is the one I assigned to them, and when you click here, and it will organize based on whatever that is. So I can see who watched it, which in this case was everyone. I can see when they last watched it, and so forth. So that is the end of this video, and that's a little tip on how I work when I use my do now EdPuzzle videos. Hope you liked this. Don't forget, it's important to hit the subscribe button and like if you do like this stuff. If I don't see a lot of people liking it or subscribing, that means it's not really valuable and I won't continue making them, and that's fine too, but I hope you do, and I hope I start seeing these build up. Take care. See you next time.